Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the episode of Talking About Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Uncle AK. Am I speaking so fast?
Nah, you good. You good. I like the energy. I'm flexed. I like that jacket too.
Hey, man.
And you got on my chin, but it's so good. Listen, welcome to another episode of Talking About Podcast. We got a special guest in the building. Before we introduce her, I'm excited for this, man. Definitely want to thank you for checking this out. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button so you can get, you know what I'm saying, like instant notifications when we drop an episode. We are also on Instagram, SITM Podcast, Twitter, Facebook, all that good stuff. We'd love to hear from you. People refer guests, SITM Podcast 237 at gmail.com. If you want to, you know, say shout out somebody you want us to interview on the podcast, bruh.
Yes, sir.
Man, this is about to be a very dope interview. We got a special guest in the building. I'll let you do the honors of introducing her.
Yeah, man, we got, like my man Reflex said, man, we got a very special guest in the building, and she's a founder of Tailoring Needs, and an online platform that serves as a medium to connect clients with a large pool of custom wear tailors around the world. Please welcome Rashidat. Just talking with a podcast.
Come on now, you could say it's Oyegunle.
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 Man, I forgot for a quick second.
We're neighbors,
And
so,
you know,
That's
we
the
rehearsed.
first person. This is the first Nigerian that said we're neighbors.
We're
I rate
neighbors.
you.
We are neighbors, yeah.
Because Nigerians, they're so stuck up. I would say it's so stuck up. They don't want to recognize anybody. I don't need your recognition, by the way. I'm just saying, I need to calm down. But appreciate that. That's dope.
Calm down for what?
You get.
But Nigeria is still the best country in Africa. So,
Okay.
You know.
I just picked you
Let's
up.
just move on.
I just picked you up. Now
Go ahead, Joe.
Now you want to take your credits, but now let's start here. I know people might ask you. You know, so we were talking about it a little bit before the pod, like Rashidat. Like, where's that name come from?
So Rashidat is an Arabic name. Yes, I'm Muslim, hence the reason why I have an Arabic name.
So
simple.
Who's Rashidat?
Who is Rashidat? Who's Rashidat? Rashidat's Rashidat.
That answer does not fly here. Come on
No,
now. Give us meat. Wait, no homo. And flesh and everything. So go ahead.
You want meat and flesh? Okay, I'll give you meat and flesh. So I'm just your regular lady, you know, from Nigeria. I came to the States when I was 13. I am passionate about just finding opportunities and helping people out, helping people to, you know, identify the power that they have, helping to create opportunities.
That's very, very dope. Like, you know what I'm saying? Where you just said the last sentence, helping people to find their identity and the power that they have within. Because you actually, in addition to your platform, Tailoring Needs, which we're going to get into, you're also an engineer by trade.
Yes, I am. I'm an engineer.
How was that conversation? Because, you know what I'm saying, like here, it's like you either a doctor, engineer, lawyer, and all that. And then, you branching out and say, man, I'm going to start tailoring needs. We're going to define what it is. How was that conversation with your parents as far as, like, entrepreneurship?
Or better yet, like, just as you said, you know, coming from an African background, you know, either you're a doctor, lawyer, engineer, or disgrace your family. Like, being an engineer, was that something that you said, okay, you know what, I got to make my parents proud, or is what you actually wanted to do as a human being?
So it's actually what I wanted to do, but I was definitely influenced by my parents. Both the engineering aspect and the entrepreneurship aspect are both from my parents. So my dad's an engineer. He's an engineer in Nigeria. He builds houses and all that good stuff. And I grew up in a household where my dad was an engineer. He owned his own company. My mom, before we moved to the States, was a fashion designer. She had her own, fashion house. So I grew up in an entrepreneurship home where both of my parents were entrepreneurs. I didn't really know what corporate was growing up.
So they were kind of like liberal a little bit.
Yeah, till I came to America. I loved math. So I decided to get my bachelor's in physics. And then after I was done with undergrad, shout out to Salisbury University.
The Seagulls.
Yeah, the Seagulls.
I went to UMS, you know.
Oh,
We're
okay,
neighbors.
we're
I party
neighbors.
down
See,
there.
we're really, really, really neighbors.
Hey.
I went to Western Michigan University.
Where'd you go?
Western Michigan University.
Oh, okay.
That's like Nigeria. And
Yeah, it's like, that's why I said,
Continue.
So I have my bachelor's in physics, and after I was done, I took a year off to kind of figure out what I wanted to do next. Like, I was lost, just like with any other recent college graduate. You're trying to figure out what you're going to do next. I thought I was going to go to med school, and I tried it out. I was a scribe. I was a scribe at an emergency room in a hospital. And my first week there, I experienced someone dying. I was just like, yo,
I'm out.
this is not for me. We are out. So that ruled out med school, and I just started like questions started to rise within me, where it's like, growing up in Nigeria, the first 13 years of my life, we didn't have constant electricity, and we still don't have constant electricity in this 2019. And it's a problem that Nigeria and a lot of third world problems face, where there's no constant electricity. About like 2 billion people in the world live in a place where there is no constant electricity. So I just wanted to understand more about the power grid system. So that motivated me to go get my master's in energy systems engineering.
Wow.
And then that's how I got into the engineering realm. And
Day to day, what do you do as far as your job is like? We're not going, exposed, but you're based in New York.
Yes, I'm based in New York. I currently work for a utility company in New York, a power utility company in New York, kind of like the Exelon of BGE of like.
Do you get
Maryland.
discounts on your BGE bill?
Unfortunately, I don't think utility workers get discounts on their bills.
This must asking for discount.
We're regulated.
Just now like this. These guys calling big companies. Yeah.
No discounts. No discounts. But on a day-to-day basis, I work as a supervisor. I'm a construction operations supervisor. So I basically oversee construction workers who are doing the actual work, who are working underground in the underground facilities and putting together these high voltage cable.
Powerful, man. Hard hat, and you be
Hard
out
hat,
on the feet.
steel toe boots, safety glasses. When it's freezing cold, when it's hot outside, I'm there. I'm an essential employee.
The more we speak about this, it's like we're diverting from like our
Tailoring
real
Needs.
Hold on. Time on. Let me ask this question, because this is something I argue about every single day. You know what I mean? Being a woman, right? And you supervise men and all that stuff, and being that you're not that tall.
I am pretty short.
Yeah, you're pretty short. Like how, like your voice, like how does your voice stand out in the workplace, being that you're a woman?
Oh my God, this it's definitely hard for women in the field, in a field that's male dominated. I am in a group of like 60. My group is made up of like 60 people. My own department, and there are only like 3 women. I'm the only woman supervisor in my group. The other like 6 supervisors are men, who are like way older than I am. How do you find your voice? I think I went into the group eager. I wanted to learn. I just wanted to learn the job. So I went, asking questions and seeking for knowledge. Another thing is you have to stay true to yourself. Know what core values you're not willing to compromise, because people will test your buttons. They will push you. They will question you. They will try to see what you stand for. But for me, with the job I do, it's very, very dangerous. So safety was uncompromisable. So with safety and following procedures are uncompromisable, and I ensured that was clear. And I just stood my ground. You have to stay your ground. And you have to speak
supervise
up.
10 people.
Yes, I do.
Dang. All right. Powerful. Let's talk tailoring needs.
Yes, sir.
Hey, my goodness, this guy's powerful.
And that's for just that's for all the
powerful.
women who think that they don't have a voice. You know what I mean? Like, hear what she said, and let's make the world a good place.
I mean, it's hard. I'm not going to sit here and say it's easy. It's definitely really, 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 really hard. I've had my shares of ups and downs,
I'm sure.
a lot of which I can't speak on here. But it's hard. But, we women, we have to start getting in fields like that. We have to start making the difference that we're seeking for in the world. I think that's very, very important.
Follow Uncle AK's IG, by the way. He be having some interesting questions and debates on there. Uncle AK on Instagram. Uncle_AK?
No, Uncle AK _.
Yeah. Tailoring Needs.
Yes,
This
sir.
idea actually birthed, saying it was a 2-year process getting on the ground from like 2014.
Yes. So
What's the story behind it?
Yeah, that story.
That story. I heard that story twice today already.
That story. So I officially started Tailoring Needs, I believe September of 2016. That's when I created the Instagram page for Tailoring Needs. And The reason why I started it was because I lived in Maryland. I grew up in Laurel, Maryland. I went to Salisbury University, and then I moved to Bethlehem, Pennsylvania for grad school. And afterwards, I moved to Jersey City. Then I moved to New York, Brooklyn, New York. So I've moved um, to a lot of places within the last few years, and with everywhere Maryland was my home base. That's where I knew people. But then once I left my home base, and let's say I needed to go to a cousin's wedding or a friend's wedding, in Nigerian culture, I'm not sure if this is true for Cameroon.
Same.
Okay, so like you have to wear like traditional clothing, which majority of the time it has to be custom made. Once I left my home base, which was Maryland, it was hard for me to find tailors and fashion designers. So like it was an idea that I started thinking about. And then when I went to Nigeria for the first time in like a long time, it was also hard for me to find a tailor because my mom wasn't there, so I didn't have that person to kind of take me to go find a tailor. So I've been thinking about it, and then in 2016 I was going through a difficult time, and I just needed to rechannel that energy.
Love related.
Yeah, difficult times. I needed to rechannel.
How come you said it in two different podcasts, but you now say here that you are suffering breakup?
I just came back from Saudi Arabia. I went to Saudi Arabia like the first 2 weeks of January, so I have washed away all of my problems.
And it's even from 2014. It's looking at your IG now like
I'm in a better place in my life now.
I miss you, baby. She's eating big entrepreneur back.
Yeah, so I was going through difficult times.
You need to cut him a check for breaking your heart.
It's like Adele. Adele made a whole album from a heartbreak, and look at her now.
Rashidat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Finish the story, I beg.
So I just needed to rechannel my energy into something positive. I had so much energy bottled up in me, and I was like, yo, I got to do something with this. And I was like, I've had this idea that I've been sitting on. I just never really felt comfortable enough to put it out there into the world. What am I waiting for? Life is too short. Just do it.
Right. So with the idea, on the wheel to start, like, how did you say, you know what, let me take that first step? How did you get it off the ground?
Yeah.
Okay. So I actually reached out to a group of friends. I have this WhatsApp group message, which is like my sisters. We share
essentials.
Yeah, we share essentials with each other. We support each other. We push each other. Like, if I have an idea, I go into the WhatsApp group message and I'm like, hey, girls, this is what's going on. And they we bounce ideas off of each other. And I feel like everyone needs that. Girls and guys,
that's
we
what
all
I meant
need
when
that.
I said essential.
Yeah. Do you have that? Like your WhatsApp group?
I was going to say, like, if you're out there, you want to start something and you don't have, like, people that you look up to or people that you appreciate, that feedback, you need to get you one. You know what I mean? Like, we all in this room right here, like, we got one. And, like, for example, his music, he would send it to us. And everybody, like, listen to, like, I didn't like that line. No, I don't like the beat. You know what I mean? So it's just that bouncing of ideas. And, but anyways, continue. I might not talk too much.
No, it's fine. It's definitely important to have that community. That's the community that's behind you, the force behind you that's pushing you to be greater in person. That's village. Also your village that's motivating you to be great. So I bounced it off with them, and they're like, "Oh my God, Vichy, this is such an awesome idea." But then I was like, "Okay, cool. They think it's awesome, but how many other people actually have this problem?" So I think what's important when we start businesses is most times we think big. Like, I was like, oh, I need to make an app. I want to do this. I want to do that. But I don't have a tech background, so I can't develop an app. I don't know how to develop an app. So it's like, think simple. How can you actually see if people are interested in it? And I thought, I love Instagram. I love what Instagram is about. So I decided to create an Instagram account to validate the idea. So I created an account. No one knew it was me. And I just wanted to see if people would be interested. I started posting different outfits and telling people, where the tailors were located, who the tailors were. And, like, I started getting a lot of feedback from people like, oh, my God, I just found a tailor through you. Thank you so much. I've been looking for tailors. Can you help me find tailor in Wyoming or, like, Wisconsin? And I'm like, oh, my God, people actually are interested in this.
Right. Being that, you sat on the idea for 2 years, would you advise anybody to sit on their idea for that long? Like, what is a good amount of time for somebody to sit on an idea, before they start something? considering the fact that we're all different. Yeah.
I think, I think there's no rush. There's no rush. Like, do it when you're ready.
Okay.
Was there that fear though that man somebody else might have this idea and started before me?
You know what's so funny?
Was that
Ever since I've started Tailoring Needs,
people
have started after me, and they come full of Tailoring Needs, and I just laugh, because actually it's good for me, because I feel it's a gratifying thing, because I'm like, okay, they actually, like, people are actually seeing this as a good business model, so they are actually interested in starting the business too. They're coming up as competitors, so that's great. So that's why I said that do it when you're ready, because regardless of if you start before or after your competitors, they're still gonna come. Competitors are still gonna come. They're gonna rise. The only thing is that, once you do it when you're ready, you have a good you're in a good state of mind where you can actually build a brand.
Right.
So, like, people can copy your work, people can do what you want to do, but how it's executed is going to be different, because they're not in your mind and they can't read what you're going through.
That's like saying that there's only one Amazon. I don't care how much you try to copy it, there's only going to be one Amazon.
Facts.
There's only one Uber. There's only one Lyft.
Yeah.
Lyft started before Uber.
Right.
Uber was not a car
I didn't know
sharing.
that.
Yeah, Uber wasn't a car sharing app for everyone. Uber was like a luxurious car sharing app for, like, people.
Facts.
Wow, I didn't know that.
SUVs
Yeah.
and all that stuff. And then when Lyft was actually the regular car sharing app, and then when Uber saw what Lyft was doing, they're like, oh, so then they got onto the regular car sharing app for everyone. And I mean, they're surviving in their own spaces. So people are gonna come. Do it in your own time when you're ready.
I like
Build
that.
you first. That's what my friend Amin, you guys, everyone needs to follow her on Instagram, Everything to Art. She recently just said that. She said, you need to build you first and then build your brand. You can't build your brand and then try to build you, because then people are not going to follow you, because you're still trying to find yourself.
That's like some girls said dudes need to stop growing beards when they haven't worked in themselves, because we're getting girls confused out here.
That's like saying, in order to love somebody to the fullest potential, you gotta love yourself first. You cannot love somebody if you don't love yourself.
Definitely.
But man, forget all that. Though it's good conversation. What's tailoring needs? Definition of that.
Like in definition, what exactly, somebody just like breezing through, like Tailoring Needs, what's that?
So Tailoring Needs is an online platform that can help connect anyone that's looking for a tailor and fashion designer with a tailor and fashion designer. So let's say, let's say I'm getting married, and then of course I'll invite you to my wedding. And you gotta rock your Usher and all that stuff, and you have the fabric, and you need a tailor to make your outfit. How do you find your tailors now?
It's just word of mouth.
Okay.
I call my sister. Hey,
Yeah.
she is the queen of tailoring. See, every
she
event
sews?
she knows a tailor that knows a tailor that does not know a tailor but knows a tailor.
In the
Anyway.
CT, it's another CT.
But it's like what he said. It's like word of mouth. But let's say you're out of, like, you're in a different state and you absolutely need a tailor. It's hard to find tailors.
Right.
So you can come onto the website, put in your location, and then we will tell you the tailors in that area. And not only do we tell you the tailors in that area, we also, it's like a Yelp for tailors and fashion designers. You can look through the tailors' work, like pictures of their work. You can read reviews from previous customers, see how they're rated, and then you can, like, contact them directly.
So do the tailors, put their information in there, or how does the information get into Tailoring Needs as far as the website?
The tailors put their information in there, so they have to register for an account, and they put their information in there.
Is it free?
It's free for now, yes.
When are you gonna start dropping the bag?
We're still working on it. My motto is we're building the business. We're making sure that the website and the platform is to the point where we feel like, okay, it's time for us to start charging. But for right now, we're still getting to know what our customers need in terms of, like, customers meaning tailors and clients. So that's why it's still free.
Real quick, a lot of tailors watch this podcast. I know that because
Hey.
I know that because I visit a lot of them, and hey, I like that episode. So what I'm saying, how do you go to there? How do you consulting as far as, like, finding the tailors to put on there? Has it just been word of mouth so far, or?
It's been word of mouth, and it's also been through social media. So let's say I like went to an event and I post my picture on Instagram and I say, "Oh, this is the tailor that made me." We usually find like I have a bachelor's in physics, so naturally I'm a researcher at heart. So like I have mastered the art of like researching through social media. So like we usually find these tailors like through social media because their clients posted a picture of them and said that they made the outfit, and then you know, we reach out to the tailors through there, introduce ourselves, and then tell them to register onto the business.
I've been on the website a couple times. It's really dope,
Thank you.
and
Thank
it's
you.
really dope in the sense that you did not outsource this venture for somebody to build for you. You started
Yes.
from scratch, and you just mentioned that you do not have a technology background. So what really got in your mind and said, you know what, I'm gonna take on this? And part two to that question is, how did you even go about it?
Okay, so Google is your best friend.
YouTube University.
YouTube as well.
Yeah, YouTube University, Google University, they're your best friends. Like I think I was saying this earlier, like maximizing the resources that you have. I feel like you have this phone. What are you doing with your phone? Are you just scrolling through to see what's going on in your friend's life, or are you finding ways to like, you know, enhance the knowledge that you have? So for me, it was Google. Like the first thing I did was, after I saw that the Instagram page was popping, I said, okay, cool, we need to create a website because I can't continue to do the manual recommendations. So I went onto Google. I searched through Google to see how to create a directory website because I really wanted a directory website, and I found various like themes, like WordPress themes, and that's how I was able to like, you know, start the whole process. And I started teaching myself like HTML. And my goal this year is actually to learn how to code. So yeah.
Yeah, man. Like, first of all, you know, you young, you tech savvy, you know that. You
Yes,
might have breezed
sir.
through this, you know, answering the previous question, but for, you know, a lot of tailors are older women and men who are not, you know, on Instagram and Facebook and all that good stuff. How do you, and customers as well? Like my mom sews a lot. She just sold like 3 pieces last week. How do you cater to those customers as well and tailors?
So that's also the beauty of Tailoring Needs. We're helping to bring tailors and fashion designers who aren't online, which majority of them are not online, like you said. We're bringing them online. We're teaching them the essence of this online space. We want them to see that the importance of it. Like a lot of the interaction that's going on in today's world is online. So I'm trying to help them see the benefit of it. So like let's say you post a picture, your tailor isn't on Instagram, I would like reach out to you and be like, hey, who made this outfit? And you're like, oh, my tailor's not on Instagram. I would get your tailor's number, give them a call, and like, you know, go through a consultation call where I tell them about the benefits of being online. How by being online now, they're breaking down that barrier of like, oh, you know, my clients can only find me through you. They can find you online. Like now you have an unlimited reach to like more clients. More clients can know about your work, which in turn increases the amount of work you get, which in turn increases the amount of revenue you would get on a monthly basis. So I'm definitely doing that outreach where I'm calling tailors and, you know, helping to teach them and educate them about the essence of being online. And I'm also like teaching them, like, you know, getting on Instagram, getting them Facebook. Like, you have to use those resources. It's important.
See, listening to you speak is kind of crazy because, not crazy in the sense that cuckoo, but crazy that you have an engineering background. But it sounds like you have a business background too as well. Like, how did you learn this business background to say, okay, you know what, I got to get this number to reach out to the, you know, the tailor and, you know, kind of switch their minds around, you know, to join the new wave in order to promote themselves? Like, how did you think of that?
I don't know. I guess, like I said, I'm a researcher, and as an engineer, you have to constantly ask questions. Like my job, my actually 9 to 5 job, which is not 9 to 5 because I work a rotating schedule, but yeah, my
Like
9
that
to
guy.
You work a rotating schedule?
I don't have a job.
Oh, okay. It's okay. You have a job. But so going back to the question, my job involves asking questions. You have to ask questions in order to get to this. Like, you have a problem. How do I get from my problem to my solution? In between that is a gap. And in order to find the solution, you have to ask questions to find solutions to your problem. So that's pretty much where I got like this question and attitude. I have the question and attitude to try to figure out what the solutions are. So that's why I'm always asking questions. I guess that's why I have that business background.
You mentioned earlier, that, you know what I'm saying, like, especially as Africans, my tailor's dope. I don't want you going to her.
Oh yeah.
I don't want
People
you going to
like
her.
share.
I don't want you going to her because she going to get flooded.
Yeah, they,
If I
and they
come
feel
for my
like the
stuff-
quality
so
of work will go down.
Exactly.
Why are you so stingy, man?
Exactly. That's my
People
question.
are stingy.
How you
Yes.
know, have you encountered that? And
I have. Some people don't want to share their tailors, and it's actually happened to one of my friends. So my friend Tosin got married last year, and people were like looking for tailors, and my friend Dorian had recommended her tailor. So like there was an influx of people going to that tailor, and like she's just like, yo, I can't give people anybody's number. I can't give people my tailor's number anymore because now her work is not good anymore. So yes, I mean that does happen, but then that's why we have the review system, the rating and review system, where you know you can kind of see what to expect from this tailor. And in the future, what we plan to do is we would allow tailors to be able to say, hey, I have X amount of outfits for this month, so I'm already booked up for the month. I can't take any more clients. So that way, that helps to reduce the tailor being bombarded with work, which in turn could result in reduction in the quality of work.
yeah,
Is tailoring needs just for the diaspora or is it worldwide?
It is worldwide. That was such a tongue twister. Worldwide. But right now, I'm focusing on the United States and Nigeria. Those are the two.
build you
focus.
first before you build.
How
out.
how how would you just focus on Nigeria when the whole West is all about Ankaras and all that stuff?
West Africa.
Yes, this is some
I
stingy
gotta,
stuff that I don't like.
I gotta focus on the place I
You
know.
gotta build you first before you.
I
Build.
gotta focus on my people. Try to help my people get to the top.
Your people is already up there.
They're up there, but I have to focus on what I know. Like I can talk about the Nigerian fashion market because I'm familiar with it. I'm not familiar with the Cameroonian fashion market because I've never been there. But the goal is to not only open this to Nigeria and like the tailors in America, but also open it to like other West African countries too, because there's a lot of opportunities and
Yeah.
people are looking for these tailors.
Piggyback to what you said about bringing tailors to the new age. Does that saying that goes? You could take a villager to the city, but you can never take the village out of that villager, right? I don't know if I said it right, but like,
Yeah.
how is it that you're able to, tell somebody who refuses to join the new wave to join the new wave? How do you beat that? How do you educate them on that?
You just you try to educate them. Another thing that you have to do is show results. You have to show them results. So I have tailors who are like, oh, thank you so much, I found this client found me through you, this client found me through you. So I have them like send me feedback, and then they can also show results like how Tailoring Needs has benefited their life. Like for example, there's this tailor in Nigeria, Bridget. She actually made my a bridesmaid dress for someone, and the bride found Bridget through our website. The bride lives in America, and she got her bridesmaid dresses for her bridesmaids here in America, in Nigeria. Without Tailoring Needs, that would have never happened. So you know what I'm saying? So we show results. We show that, hey, Tailoring Needs is actually very helpful. And we also show demand. Like I have people in like San Francisco, California, people in Minnesota saying, hey, I'm looking for a tailor. If I don't have a tailor available, they have to fill out a form and say, hey, I'm in this state, I'm in this state, or I'm in this country, and I'm looking for a tailor. So I go to these tailors and I say, hey, X amount of people are looking for someone like you in your area. So we can help
collect
you.
that bag.
Yeah, people need you. So
Yeah.
if you sign up to on our platform, people can easily find you.
Yeah, man, you've built this amazing platform. It sounds, rosy
Thank
and
you.
good, and it's dope stuff. You're welcome. Congratulations. But this is Stuck in the Middle podcast. I gotta ask, how did you overcome the hurdles? Because I know there's been hurdles.
I'm still overcoming it.
It's a
We're not
daily,
done
weekly,
yet.
monthly thing, huh?
Yeah, it's a daily thing. How do I overcome the hurdles?
What's the biggest hurdle first? And
It's so many. I think the first one is like we've been talking about, trying to convince people who aren't tech savvy to get onto the system.
Right.
This next one is I don't have a tech background, so trying to figure out technology, how like coding works.
Coding, all that stuff. Yeah.
Trying to understand
Hire
the
this
website.
guy. We can talk about it after.
Join the team. You're just gonna get some shares.
Hey, shares is okay. I don't mind. It takes a village, right?
Yeah, so that's one. And then building a team too is also like a hurdle. Like getting people who share the same passion as I do, and trying to get them onto the team. But
Speaking on finding people who share the dream, right? Is this solely you, or do you have a team? Forgetting about your WhatsApp group, or do you have a team?
So I do. I had a team of 3, and now it's a team of 2.
So how did you handpick these people, and sharing your thought process, your vision? How did you go about that and recruiting them to join your team?
I actually did not pick them. They came to me.
Yeah, people just find usually.
When people see that you're doing something good, once they like see that you're doing something good, they would come to you and like approach you and tell you that they want to work for you. So one person is a lady she's currently in Wharton Business School, and she's interested. She's followed Tailoring Needs and has seen how it's evolved, and she's interested in in the team. And she's like, because she's in business school now, she provides the strategic aspect of tailoring. And another person was someone with a tech background, and she found out about Tailoring Needs. And I actually like randomly bumped into her at Google. I was visiting a friend, and she was there too. And then she randomly came up to me. She's like, "You look familiar." And I was like, "Hi." And then she came back. She's like, "That's you," because I usually don't post my picture on the page on Tailoring Needs Instagram page, because it's not about me. It's about the community. But what I'm trying to do now is every year I post like a yearly message to tell them what we're focusing on. Like this year we're focusing on building the community. Last year was pitching. I was pitching like crazy. This year is community. I'm done with pitching. We'll get that money next year.
That's how 2019 goal was supposed to back there. But do you wish? Don't read it out loud, please.
Sorry.
Do you wish Tailoring Needs was your full time, and are you working towards that?
I do wish it's my full time, because it's something that like when you're working on something and it just excites you, then when you get results, you're like so excited and you're so happy. I wish it's my full time. Unfortunately, right now it's not my full time, and it can't be my full time right now. But there are plans in the future to see if it can evolve to becoming my full-time job. But my full-time job is also something I'm passionate about. So it's like I'm torn. I'm stuck in the middle. I'm torn. I'm trying to figure out which one to focus on.
She's stuck in the middle.
I'm torn.
But now, as an African woman,
Yes,
a Nigerian-American,
hey.
you know what I mean? Like, how does your identity, shape this passion of yours?
So my identity, I think I'm the first child. I'm the first of 2, and I'm 9 years older than my brother. So I was the only child for 9 years.
Do you, when he does something, you go, sit down?
He doesn't even listen, so he's too grown for school now. So it's whatever. I'm just like whatever. So I've had to navigate my way through life. Even from a very, very young age, my parents sent me to boarding school. So I was in boarding school for 3 years in Nigeria. And
How
go
was that?
Figure. That was good. Looking back now, I'm glad I did it, because it's definitely made me the woman I am today. But when I was going through it, I hated my parents. Definitely, I hated them, because it was a torturous experience. But because of that experience, I'm more independent. I navigate my way through life. I figure things out. I don't wait for people to give me handouts. I figure things out. So I feel like being an immigrant, coming to the States at a young age, that's definitely helped me shape my path, where I'm just like, no is never the answer. Yes, I'm going to have some hurdles along the way, and yes, I'm going to fall, which I have fell, but you're going to pick yourself up and you're going to keep going, because you got to figure this out.
Right. most people don't really care about, doing the whole www.tailoringneeds.com because it's like lengthy and all whatnot.
Yeah.
Like
People
for
don't
me,
even
I just
own
want to,
computers
I just
no
want to
more.
go like this, boom, like pick up my phone, open an app.
Uh-huh.
So you thought about all that just to say, have you thought about creating an app?
I have. I've thought about creating an app, but the thing with technology and building a product is you have to go slow. Like apps are expensive. Apps are very expensive. If you can't create it yourself, apps are expensive. So you got to have the guap and the moolah. And the thing is,
Mooch.
yeah, and I don't think I have that much yet.
The question is, are
Have
you
you thought
talking
about
to the
it?
right people?
Am I talking to the right people?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not. Maybe, I mean, if anyone listening to this podcast has connections that can help me,
You sitting next to one, but we can talk about it after.
Huh?
You sitting next to one.
Okay.
Why are you looking at me
We'll
for?
talk.
Why are you looking at me for?
We definitely will talk, but if there's anyone out there that's willing to join the team that can help
man.
out, I'm open to having people join.
Mm-hmm.
The app
But
will be clutch.
yeah, definitely. But the thing is that I'm also learning with entrepreneurship, you have to take things slow. Like as quick as you try to rush into the process, you're gonna fall as quick as you go in. So you have to take things slow. And most people focus on, I need to build this app, I need to build this technology, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to do that. But what does the people who are the end users, is that what they need? Are they actually interested in it? Have you talked to them? Have you researched? Have you created that community where they trust your brand, where they're just like, yo, I'm riding for Tailoring Needs. Like, I don't care what you got to say. Tailoring Needs is my end all be all. Is that community? Do you have that community? And like I said, last year was, I'm pitching. I'm going to get Tailoring Needs out there. I'm going to get on the podcast. I'm going to, get on Black Girls Venture and pitch at Google. I'm going to, get into this program with Rent the Runway, project entrepreneurship program. I'm going to get into Y Combinator's online startup school. I got into all of that, great. And I got connections from all that. But at the same time, I'm just like, yo, I got to build this community. I got to be able to say, hey, guys, and then they come behind me and it's like, we're following Rashidat because we trust Rashidat. So the app can come later on.
One thing I like about myself is I love playing that game of devil's advocate, right?
Okay, that's okay.
Let's play that game a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you don't want to rush. Yeah, you want to take your time. But there's no blueprint that says that, you got to take your time. It also
True.
depends on the individual. And I'm recognizing the fact that you've seen your path and this is what going to work for you. But at the same time, have you taken the time out to check with all the people who are using your platform to see if it's easier to go on a website or an app?
That's what I'm doing now. That's part of building the community.
But don't you think that that's something that... Anyways, when did you start the platform again?
2016.
Okay.
I did ask in 2016. People said they were interested in an app. They
Okay.
would rather an app than a website.
Then what about 2017?
2017. What happened in 2017? 2017 is a blur for me.
2018?
2018, I was building the website and I was pitching.
Okay.
Trying to get money to build the app. I
So-
was trying to get money to build the app.
Trying to get money to build an app. Well, I would say, in my humble opinion, I would rather go on an app
Okay.
than go on a website. Why? Because I don't have my laptop on me 24/7, and
You can go on
depending
the website on the phone.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
we go on the website on the phone, but that's exactly where I was going. Depending on the website, depending on what the website provides, I cannot sit on my phone and start zooming in and doing all this stuff.
Yeah.
Like especially when we're dealing with location.
Okay.
You know what I mean? If you want to go on, if you want to GPS, you don't bring your laptop let me GPS the site and see what's going on. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like the app will be more easier, especially when you're gonna go for stuff like that. No, just
No,
my 2
no.
cents.
I love the fact that you're playing devil's advocate. But my question for you is, how many apps do you have on your phone? How
I
many
have,
times? What type of phone do you use?
Man, this is
Look around here.
No.
Look in
I
this
don't
room.
need the exact spec, but do you use an iPhone? Do
I
you
use an iPhone.
Okay, how many times does your iPhone tell you, your storage is full? You have to delete
Nah,
stuff.
we're not dealing with that problem no more.
I don't play that game when it comes to storage
Okay.
because storage is very important. Same way as my home, I need space. And because I need space, everything around me is space.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So for me, my phone's always telling me you gotta delete stuff. Your storage is full.
What is in you get money? You are still
Your storage is full.
You are still locking your bag. Are you one of the people that put keychains? I mean, like a lock around your purse.
Maybe
Hey.
my storage is full, and I feel like I speak for the average person where it's like your storage is always full. So if this app is not an app that I use on a daily basis, I'm gonna delete it.
That's okay. You could.
But I can go on the website.
You can reinstall it if it's really important
definitely.
for you. And being that tailoring, my bad flex, but being that tailoring is key to you, you're gonna have that app on your phone.
That's true.
Yeah, it's all about some people. What you need is what you download anyway.
Definitely.
So how much of Tailoring Needs and say this what is it, 4 years now building the platform?
2016, so it's 2019. 3
Yeah,
years.
yeah. So as an entrepreneur, how much of it has been luck and how much of it has been hard work? As far as success,
I think I'm yet to experience luck. This reminds me of that question. This question actually reminds me of how I built
How I
this.
built this, yeah,
I love that podcast. He usually
check
asks
it
that
out
question.
with Guy Raz.
Yeah. I mean, I think most of it has been hard work. Most of it has been because I've put myself in places where, I wanted to be at. Like, getting into. So I got into Project Entrepreneur, which is a entrepreneurship program hosted by Rent the Runway. And that's because I put in the application, and it was hard work to put in the application, to write out the application and put it in. Was I lucky to get in? Did I feel like I was lucky to get in? Yes, because I got there, and that was like my first entrepreneurship space, like where I was like, whoa, what's going on here? I'm like, why am I even here? Like that imposter syndrome where you're just like, whoa, do I even belong here? But I feel like majority of it has been hard work. Do I feel like luck has a part to play in entrepreneurship? Yes, but I think I'm still yet to experience that luck.
Starting Tailoring Needs, what was one thing you knew? What was one thing you wish you knew before that you know now?
Okay, backing up your website. Backing up your website, because I actually
you lost a lot of
my first year.
You get hacked too.
What are you using?
Yeah. You can get hacked.
What are you using to
We can talk after this.
What's success to you? What's success to you?
Success is achieving your dreams and your goals. Achieving it. Working hard to achieve it.
I like that. Can you tailor? Can you actually?
I can.
Your mom was a fashion designer.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I can. I'm not the best.
But
I
the one that'll get negative reviews.
Yeah, I probably would be that one person that can get negative reviews, but I can. I'm not the best though. Mm-hmm. I didn't learn professionally. I learned by just watching my mother.
Yeah. What's next for for you? I know Stuck in the Middle podcast. What's next as far as going back to New York? You already mapped out your blueprint for the year. What can we expect down the road? 2 years, 5 years?
So I am just going to continue working on Tailoring Needs. Like I said, this year is about building communities. I'm going to be talking to my users, picking up the phone and calling people who are interested in talking to me about, tell me about your tailoring experience. Or tailors, tell me about what are your needs. So people should expect a lot more, one-on-one conversations with me. I'm trying to make this brand more of a relatable brand.
Community.
Yeah, it needs to be relatable. I just don't want it to be a distance brand where people are oh, you can find Taylor through this website. So if there's anybody out there that wants to talk to me about their tailoring experience, what their needs are, I'm definitely open to it. They should definitely reach out to me. Instagram at Tailoring Needs. That's the Instagram account. It's Tailoring Needs, or you can also reach out to me on my personal Instagram account, which is love.shida.
Are you dating right now? And I'm asking for a friend.
Rashidat.
My love life is usually I don't even post my love life online.
You don't have to post. I'm just asking. Are you
it.
dating? Yes or no?
I'm
Why
talking.
You are
someone.
talking.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, sir.
Hi.
So nobody slide.
Huh?
Nobody should slide in the DMs.
Yeah.
For those watching. Yeah. That kind of is like you could slide, but
You
I
break your
mean,
leg.
yeah.
okay.
Hey, listen, we've had the pleasure of speaking with Rashidat Oyengule.
Yes, you got it.
I didn't
Thank
even look at my
you.
notes.
No,
Now listen, it's an awesome platform that you have.
thank you.
And we appreciate you coming through, breaking it down for us. I really hope people enjoyed it, and man, it's been dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Appreciate you coming through
No.
all the way from NY.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me. Like when you reached out to me, I think you randomly reached out to me. You're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I would love to have you on the podcast." That actually was one of the highs of 2018. I was like, "Oh, they want me on."
Yeah,
the podcast?
you've been on the
Oh
you've
my
been on the
God.
radar for a minute.
So
Yeah.
thank you. Thanks for
No,
reaching
no
out.
doubt, no doubt.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Keep doing what you're doing. You know, what I mean, we need tailors. You know, all the African events. I don't want to catch nobody with button-up shirt. Bring your
And-
Afriture.
If there's any black women out there that's also looking into getting into the tech world, you don't know how to start, reach out to me. I feel like we just have to continuously help each other, share resources. That's a big part of making sure that we also are represented in the fields that we want to be in. So reach out.
Yeah.
I'm willing to help. I'm willing to share.
I like it.
Let's do this.
Yeah, reach
Yeah.
out, Rashidat, and what was that? What was your Tailoring Needs Instagram again?
At Tailoring Needs, so TAILORINGNEEDS. This is like my test of spelling.
I was waiting to see if you failed.
Yeah, you
But,
can reach us on SITM Podcast. That's on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If you enjoy what you listen to and you're watching on YouTube? Yeah, YouTube.
Hit subscribe button.
Yeah, man.
Subscribe.
Listen. Subscribe. Run it up, and share it too.
We would love to hear from you. Leave your reviews on Apple Podcast.
Yeah.
Under the YouTube link. Don't text me saying, "Oh, I thought this episode was." No, leave it under the YouTube link.
Because it's there
Yeah,
permanent.
it's there.
People-
what I
other
mean?
people see
Yeah.
it.
Or email us. We'll love to hear from you.
Yeah.
Don't text me though. I don't like that stuff. I don't like it.
How they gonna get your number?
No, I mean not. I mean they could text me for other stuff, but don't text me saying, "Yo, I love that episode. This episode." No, leave that
share it
stuff
online so people
under
can see it.
the link.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Share it as all that good
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. The email is SITM podcast 237@gmail.com. Questions, comments, referrals. We'll love the referrals.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Achiri behind the camera. Shout out
Yes,
to
sir.
Mine in the building.
Yes,
We got
sir.
another brother in the building.
Yes, sir. Next week we're gonna be in
Philly. Hey,
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Wow,
yeah.
what's
We're gonna
going on
be.
in Philly.
We are hosting an event at Pennsylvania University. I gotta get it right.
No, don't worry.
University of Pennsylvania.
University of Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
W.E.B. Du Bois University.
Yeah.
It's a 2-day event hosted by the African Student Association there
Look at
in
you
the
guys
university.
doing
So,
big and better.
yeah. Pull up.
Pull
Got a
up,
little
pull up.
celebrity here.
Riffle's gonna be performing too.
Yeah, I'm performing on
The whole
Saturday.
details is gonna be right here.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
there
Check it
from-
out.
Yeah, check it
Yeah.
out. Pull up in Pennsylvania. We'll be there February 1st and 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
We would love to hear from you. We're hosting a 2-day event. So, yeah, it's next door. You can drive down.
Yeah.
Party with us. It's going to be jollof. Endless jollof.
What type of
Senegalese
jollof, though?
jollof,
What
Nigeria
type?
jollof,
Jollof.
Ghanaian
You know, Nigerian jollof is the
Cameroon
best.
jollof.
See,
We'll not
All
start
I
this
need is
war.
it will
Nigerian
be
jollof.
a jollof war. I'll have my jollof gun, just be shooting grains of rice. Pa, pa, pa.
But yeah, it's the
cool.
information is right there. Stuck in the middle. So going on the road. We'll be in Philadelphia next week. Come out, pull up, support. Yeah.
We've been listening to Talking to Me podcast, and we are
out.
out.
Peace.